I've owned Golden Tees before in the past, and I enjoyed them, but they were always the more modern versions of the game, right? So when I got the Golden Tee Arcade1up, I was kind of underwhelmed, but it was mainly because I wasn't used to those titles. I was used to the more modern ones. And admittedly, I was being a little snobby and wanted a HAPP trackball, but the trackball that's on there is actually pretty decent. So good job, Arcade1up. It's not bad. But anyways, long story short, in this video, we are actually going to upgrade the Golden Tee. And I'm just saying right now, I didn't want to do this, but then I fell into the trap. Wow, all these golf references fell into the trap. So anyways, all right guys, whatever. Let's just watch the video, okay? So sit back and enjoy the Arcade1up upgrade. Okay, let's waste no time and get right into it. The Golden Tee cabinet is pretty nice. It comes with the custom riser, and I think it just kind of does justice to the original cabinet design, so no complaints there. Here's a flyby of the control panel. It looks really nice. I mean, they did a good job with everything here. You'll notice I made a couple modifications though, one of them being the trackball. It is 100% a HAPP now, and that was actually not very easy to do. I'll show you how to do that in a minute. And I had to add the flyby and backspin buttons because that was part of Golden Tee Complete. Here's the marquee. The marquee looks really nice actually. No complaints there, and I don't think I'll even change that out. So right now I'm going to give you a look underneath the control panel. So we're going to remove these 4 screws, and then I'll lift up the top and show you what's going on under there. Okay, as we lift it up, you'll see where the trackball is, and you'll see it looks like a little bit of a mess, and I'll explain why, because it wasn't that easy to do. Okay, let's take a closer look at the control panel. So these 2 buttons are backspin and flyby. I had to add those buttons, and the other buttons here are all the stock buttons. So you'll see them right there. I just used all the stock buttons. I didn't replace the buttons. And they're all going into this device. It's actually a replacement for a wire nut if you're used to house wiring, and I'll explain that a little bit later. Here's the HAPP trackball. The holes do line up, the mounting holes, but you'll notice I did have to route it out in order to make the trackball flush with the top, because the 1UP trackball, it kind of extends out, so you can't just plug and play the HAPP trackball, unfortunately. I know this is ugly, but I'm not the best at power tools, and admittedly it was my first time using a router, so it'll be fun to kind of learn how to use that a little bit better as time goes on. So again, like I said, all these buttons are stock buttons. This is a speaker upgrade, really easy. You can just wire it right into the Jamma harness. It's the BRS40 speaker that a lot of us have used. This is the wire harness that I had to buy separately that goes straight to the board. And then the rest of the connections you'll see, I use these little connectors where you can solder connections without actually using a soldering iron. Use a heat gun, and I'll have links in the description of those devices. So let's go onto the back and see what's going on back there. Okay, because the Golden Tee marquee plugs into the stock PCB, I had to do some modifications to that. So I just spliced the end of the wire, and you'll expose a red and a black wire. And what you can do is you can just wire this into a 12 volt 1 amp power supply. So you can plug it in just like a regular 110 outlet. So if you look here, that's the power supply I used. And you'll notice it goes right into that at the end, and it'll just power up when the cabinet powers up because they've got everything going to a single power strip. Okay, so let's quickly take a look at the inside of the cabinet. So there is the PCB. I haven't mounted it yet. Actually, none of the wiring is actually cleaned up yet. There's the arcade power supply. We will go back and I'll show you that in a minute because that is definitely not your normal power supply. And then I have a separate power supply that's running both the marquee and the video converter board, so I can get the signal from the arcade board to the VGA. And then that's actually the hard drive that runs the game data, which is actually somewhat unique to some of these older boards. Some of them actually run the game data on hard drives. So then you'll see that's the interesting piece of it. The game board's powered by these 2 Molex connectors back here. So very non-traditional for a Jamma board. So this is where you could get tripped up. You power the front of that Jamma board, you're gonna blow this thing out. So please use the right power supply if you're gonna go down this route. And this power supply I picked up from Twisted Quarter. This board actually requires quite a bit of power, so make sure, this is the key, make sure you get the right power supply, and I'll have a link to the description. So that's kind of it for the back. Let's do some gameplay. All right, before we get into gameplay, I just wanted to show you, this can be emulated. The problem is it's not emulated very well. So that's why I chose the regular Arcade PCB. So for those of you that are unfamiliar and why I picked Golden Tee Complete is because it's It's all the releases spanning from 2001 to 2005, so it has 20 of the original courses plus 7 additional new courses. So I figured this is the perfect pairing for this Arcade1up cabinet, and to get a Golden Tee complete in this small of a form factor is pretty much non-existent, since the original one was like 350 pounds, so that's why I chose it. All right, let's boot this puppy up. Here it is. Listen to that hard drive. It's kind of funny when you can listen to a hard drive boot. It's like that noise was so, I don't know, such a noise from the 90s that you always remember, but you don't hear anymore. All right, let's just go straight to gameplay, shall we? Okay, so you can select the number of players, obviously. We're only gonna play one player. I did play with my son the other day. He had a super fun time playing it, but I didn't capture the footage, unfortunately. All right, so like I said, you can select all your courses here, and there's like a bunch to choose from, 27 in total. I'm gonna do the amateur course because I don't know why not. We'll just do the front 9. I'm not gonna do all 9. I just wanna show you guys what it looks like.
On a beautiful sunny afternoon.
But the cool thing is it'll save all the high scores and all that stuff. I haven't really played it too much yet. Now, keep in mind, as you can see, if I touch the backspin button, you can see the backspin will show up there. Flyby works as well. So that's, I had to add those 2 buttons, but pretty straightforward the way the game plays. You know, you guys are probably very familiar with the game already, but the HAPP trackball feels great. Like I said, the trackball it came with wasn't that bad. So just keep that in mind that you could maintain that trackball. I'm not gonna put in my initials there. What you'll notice if you did try to emulate these games, because Golden Tee Complete can be emulated, the audio is way off. So you'll notice there's some audio clipping if you try to emulate it. So this will probably be your best bet if you really love this and you want to upgrade your Golden Tee. Come on. Yeah! See, for the video I did well. That wouldn't have happened if I wasn't filming it. The gameplay is awesome. It works really well. The HAPP trackball feels good. It feels true to the original. Oh, that was crappy. Oh, wait. Oh, what? He bounces back on the green. This is one of those things where I feel like I'm going to hit this mountain, but I'm going to give it a shot. All right, let's try. I'm going to wind up hard. Yeah, did I get over it? Dude, that's not actually bad, half bad. Good shot, Peter. Oh, come on. I just twigged that one. All right. But as you can see, guys, it looks really good. It plays really good. I would recommend the HAPP upgrade if you really love this game. If not, you can use the original trackball. It's actually not half bad. I just feel like if you wanted to recreate the arcade experience 100% or close to it, oh, dang it. Yeah, if you want to recreate that arcade experience, HAPP is the way to go, or HAPP, as they call it, or I call it.
It's on, Peter. Call for 1, trying for bogey.
All right, whatever. I'll take it. All right, guys, let me give you some final thoughts and we'll wrap this thing up. All right, it's final thoughts time. So would I recommend this? Yes, if you're a Golden Tee fan, yes, absolutely, because you'll get, 27 courses, you'll get better graphics, you'll get better sound, you get the commentary, even though it's kind of lame at times. Good job, Peter. But anyways, I really like this, but just keep in mind, it's going to cost you a decent amount of money, and there's some difficulty if you decide you want to go with the HAPP trackball. You got to feel comfortable with a router, which is my first time really using a router, so I always use like hand route, like a routing bit on a Dremel, which is, still kind of difficult to work with, but this was a whole new ball game. But honestly, I'm really excited now that I know how to use, or kind of know how to use a router. But anyways, so just keep in mind, there's a level of effort involved that you may or may not feel comfortable with, and there's also a cost involved that you may or may not feel comfortable with. So money is gonna kind of dictate whether you can do this one or not, unfortunately. And if you're a really big Golden Tee fan, then I say yes, absolutely, you will have so much more fun with the cabinet. So I'm gonna leave some information in the comments below to hopefully help you out. And if you have any questions, definitely reach out to me, because this is one of those ones where if you do something wrong, you're gonna blow out the board. So just be careful, proceed with caution, and please ask me questions if you need to. Anyways, guys, if you enjoyed the video, please give it a like. Please consider subscribing to the channel. Put your comments below. I want to hear, are you a Golden Tee fan? Do you remember playing this in bars? Like, does this excite you at all, or do you pretty much not care? I mean, I hate golf, like actual golf, but I like Golden Tee. So hey, you don't have to necessarily like golf to like Golden Tee. Anyhow, that's it for now, guys. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.